Out there talking shit Tuesday, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing this for over 5 years. Good times. People have tried to emulate, tried to copy. Hell, they legitimately even tried to steal the tune, doing some gay shit. Then we found out they're actually gay over at 1320 Videos. So today what we're going to talk about is more proof that Jim Farley knows nothing about cars. Literally said a statement that was quoted shitting on a complete industry, and what he said made so much, like, it made no sense at all, like not even close, that it tells me he not only not knows his product, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And he's done this before, yet proving again that Ford's CEO Jim Farley must be fired by Ford, because all he is doing is making ridiculous statements, proving once again and again and again he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. We're going to talk about that specifically because he has made statements in the past that are a little sus. Remember when he said something about the Lightning, then he said something about an electric pickup truck being faster. Remember, these are key words. Faster than a twin turbo, than the Mustang twin turbo that doesn't exist. He either has dementia, whatever Biden had, or he simply doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Let me make sure I have all the stuff here properly. We'll talk about that many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It sucks, and we're gonna get right to it. I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about on this episode. PMAS, Dick James and PMAS, the best cold air intakes on the planet, best sensors on the planet. Get the HPX sensor if you're gonna be making over 1,300 rear wheel horsepower to get some great resolution on your MAF curve. Your tuner will appreciate it. Unless he doesn't know how to tune an HPX sensor, PMAS, Dick James, PMAS, Domagot Cookies, DomaGotCookies.com. If you love the best thick, sweet cookies with weird names on them, you want to ship blue? Get a cookie that's all blue. And maybe, just maybe, you might smell her lotion when she's making the cookie dough. DomaGotCookies.com, DNAPperformance.com. DNAP Performance, the online parts house sponsor of the show. DNAP Performance, you're going to go get your fuel systems, injectors, twin turbos, superchargers, wheels, tires, anything you could think of that is new. You're going to get it at DNAPperformance.com. Partsfarm.com. You can get used cars, you can get cranking pallets, engines, interiors, wheels, tires for F150's, Chargers, Challengers, Mustangs, and Camaros. Check out Rob Bowen at partsfarm.com. Two Auto Solutions, Rami Zadan, Two Auto Solutions. He's currently in Boston putting together an F150. Some guy has an F150 over in Boston, and he just didn't want to send it to Auto, and he's working on it at his house. Check him out. And Belak Industries, it's Caleb backwards. He is in Miami, and he loves making wheels and selling wheels to people that basically sell drugs or put beadlocks on improperly. So check that out. richprint.com/YDBT if you want to support the show and get some merchandise for it. YDBT hats, Amory hats, YDBT trucker and Amory trucker hats, Dolo, YDBT flat brim and Amory. It's getting cold out there, and you want to make sure you rob people. You want to rob them in style. You get yourself the YDBT Shiesty Section 8 shirts and hoodies, Hush Money shirts and hoodies, ZR50 shirts and hoodies, Booty Juice shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice shirts and hoodies, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, 85 to 86, 87 to 93, Save the Manos shirts, 1320 Didios shirts, F1320, YDBT and Amory shirts, and we got stickers, long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodies of all kinds, Booty Juice stickers, Amory stickers, guys, and also become a Patreon subscriber. Look, $15 a month. There's going to be a giveaway coming up that I think is going to be pretty awesome. We got a little bit of everything going on in there. Some of the better group chats. We got tech chats, pew pew chats, peasant chats, sell your stuff chats, show us your bill, dating channel chats. It's a great resource. If you want to have some fun, I honestly find myself going there first in the morning to see what the deal is. And then I go to the other sites like X, Facebook, and all this stuff. But the first stop is always Patreon. You're going to get a hold of me. You can DM me. We can talk shit, whatever. Clint Stroke, Andy Ali, Nick, Monty 540, B. Lavesh, Frank Donahue, Z33, Camzilla, 5-Ho, 101 RTR, Lemonade, Robo Style, Joe Jackson, TC, John Bonanno, D-Rock Fox, 5-Ho, Wesley Stewart, Tony the Truck Guy, Slow 99, Connor, I stand on business. he says. Paul Panfiu, El Verga Larga, EPA, Clean 93 GT, TJ Sikorsky, Pegalos, shifting in Canada. Stuart D, Sam Morales, Tony the Truck Guy, Anthony Rafferty, Dixon, Jacob Haggard, JD Swag, Ayo Bravo, Mustang Dennis, D-Rock Fox, semi-retired street racer, El Verga, again, Coca-Cola, the Sinaloa cartel member, Ted Diaz, Matt Oliver. No, he's really not a Sinaloa cartel member. I don't want ICE showing up to his door. El Verga Larga, Pegalos again, Jacob, Matt R, Nardi Mercado, talking odd shit, Gregory Ovich, Harley Jetsled, Ray, Blue Thunder, El Verga, Blue Thunder, Jared, Matt Oliver, Blue Thunder again, Peter Chow, Dustin Garrison, Blink, Mr. Slow Gojira, It's Just a Spick, Momods, Oscar, Bryson Witt, and Redbird, and all the usual suspects that show up and have a little fun. This article is going to infuriate you if you are, number one, a Ford fan, and number two, in the tuning business. Never has a CEO gone out of his way to say something so egregiously bad. I think it's actionable. I think he basically took the industry that probably is responsible for any uptick in Mustang sales, probably responsible for the resurgence in the regular cab, hell, any F-150 Coyote four-wheel drive performance game. Your FP700 would not exist if Mexicans in Houston weren't fucking with this truck, and if tuners weren't tuning this truck, that performance variant would not exist. You tried it before, no one gave a fuck. All of a sudden, the big resurgence in the Coyote performance game has been literally brought on by aftermarket tuning. The Drive. Ford CEO says his daughter's boyfriend's ruined an F-150 with a junk tune. What the? Caleb Jacobs posted it yesterday at 2:21. When asked why Ford is locking down the ECU on its performance cars, Farley had the perfect example. Poor kid. Why didn't you push back on that, Caleb? Caleb, do you know anything about tuning? Do you know anything about the aftermarket? Do you know anything at all? You sat there and agree, oh, okay, he must know what he's talking about. He's the CEO. Listen to this article. Jim Farley is the CEO of Ford Motor Company. He's also a dad. Those two jobs overlap in some surprising ways. Suck his dick harder! Which he explained on this week's episode of the Dakota Podcast when he asked about Ford's decision to lock the Mustang's ECU, not the EPA, not the government literally slapping his pee-pee. He said, so tuners couldn't easily modify it. Farley used some anecdotal evidence from his home life that's actually pretty entertaining. It involves his daughter's boyfriend, a questionably tuned F-150, and a junked cam. While Farley insists that Ford is in favor of owners getting more performance out of their cars, he implied that it is hard for automakers to make special provisions for shops that simply don't have what they need to write safe tunes. Then give it to them, asshole. The aftermarket, these are the quotes from Farley. The aftermarket is a real opportunity, but also a big challenge for us because a lot of people like to write software in the control module that controls the powertrain to get better performance. But what they don't know, and what the user may not be aware of, is that all the reliability and quality issues that might come up are very expensive. Farley explained, my daughter's boyfriend is one of these people. He bought a brand new F-150. He got a supercharger on it. He recently got a bunch of error codes because he updated the ECU against Ford standards. And now he needs thousands of dollars of expensive repairs because the vehicle has started chewing its camshaft. Chewing its. Not one of. Chewing its camshaft. Last time I checked, F-150s did not come with a Godzilla. But it gets way better. It was great that he could get 650 horsepower out of his EcoBoost F150. He didn't think about what he was doing to the reliability of the vehicle, but we have to at Ford. So again, this is an interesting way of putting things. He says he's got a supercharger on an EcoBoost F150 and it chewed up its camshaft. What the fuck are you talking about? What in Sam hell are the fuck you talking about? An EcoBoost is a twin turbo, dual overhead cam V6, or a 2.7 variant, or a 3.5 variant. I don't know if they have a 3.0 variant, but I'm pretty sure they're all dual overhead cam V6s. So when you say he put a supercharger on his F150 EcoBoost and it chewed up its camshaft, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, aside from that, let's say he misspoke and he said that after it got a tune, it had a cam issue. Explain to me, like I'm Corky from Life Goes On, how a tune can damage one camshaft. Explain to me, like I am Corky, how the hell a calibration can ruin 1 out of 4 camshafts. Please, please, please. How does a tune do that? I mean, I'd want to see that. You know what? Shit. We have that much control of the truck that we can say, you know what? Bank 1, stay good. Bank 2 exhaust, eat yourself. Here's the eat yourself. EYS switch. Eat yourself. Bank 1 exhaust. 1. The eat yourself bank 1 exhaust cam switch. Tell me where the fuck that is. You are so stupid, Jim Farley. But the article's not done, so let's keep going. Now, we should get Farley the benefit of the doubt. Gluck, gluck, gluck. We should... Oh, wait. Farley, wait, hold on. Wait, let me move your zip pants down. Oh, you want your balls out? You want your balls out? Or do you want the balls tucked so it can look like more shaft? So the balls don't look like it's getting in the way of the root. Nah? So, now we should give Farley the benefit of the doubt. He almost certainly misspoke about the boyfriend supercharging his twin-turbo V6 F150. That happens, and Farley knows his product. He knows his product so well that he said an electric truck is faster than the Mustang twin-turbo.
It will be faster than our Mustang twin-turbo.
That doesn't exist. He said an electric truck that looks to be a $30,000 truck is going to be...
No one has seen this kind of flexibility. Tons of room for 5 adults, bikes, surfboards.
That right there in front of a bunch of people. Oh, and he's got a safety jacket in case you can't see Jim Farley.
Work equipment.
Sell some brake pads.
Whatever you need. You don't have to put it on the top. You don't have to put it on the tow hitch. It's all in the vehicle.
Right.
It will be faster than our Mustang twin-turbo.
Whatever the fuck that means. Okay, so what's really important is to draw out the quote, how uninterested Ford is in making exceptions for third parties. Farley argues that the shops get carried away rewriting files that affect many of the parts and car's operation. In turn, the Blue Oval gets blowback, which explains why it locked the Mustang ECU down. You are a liar. You locked it down because of the EPA. All I would say is that it's a tough problem to solve, Farley said. We always want to give the customers a chance to tune their vehicles, but we actually know a lot about the reliability of the vehicle. Yeah, can you just do me a favor about reliability? And can anybody right now Google how many recalls Ford has had this year? Are we, as a brand, going to let our quality reputation suffer to give a person the ability to modify the vehicle? I think that's a hard compromise for us to make. Farley pitched the idea of customers tweaking their vehicles through Ford, effectively turning the automaker into an aftermarket provider. In a way, it already is, given the huge list of accessories that Ford currently sells. Heck, it even offers factory tune for Rangers and Raptors and Bronco Raptors that adds 50 horsepower more and 100 pound-feet of torque. All this to say Ford likely won't budge on its stance toward third-party tuning. Call it what you want, image protection or corporate greed, but it is the way it is. Don't be surprised if others follow suit. Farley is a liar. Farley has made a blasphemous statement, I think a libelous statement. He has basically told aftermarket tuners, fuck you. We're not going to let you, we're not going to make it easy to tune your vehicle. Because, you know, when your single cammed supercharged EcoBoost F150 eats its cam after a tune, then we're going to have to warranty that one cam on that supercharged twin-turbo EcoBoost F150. You stupid son of a bitch. Why in the hell does he still have a job? He is literally Tommy Boy. There should be a shirt with his quotes on it. There should be a shirt with Chris Farley, but with Jim Farley quotes. And they're, you can't, who said this and then say something and go, Jim Farley or Chris Farley, the comedian? I'm thinking that people will not, it'll be a blurred line between those two. But imagine that guy is the head honcho at Ford, proving once again that you don't need to know anything about your product in order to be the CEO of a company. Now, I'm old, 47. I have had many jobs, especially from the age of 18 to 35, and 36, 37 is when I got into tuning. So between the age of 18 and 35, I had many jobs at big companies, small companies, whatever. Some companies ran absolutely smoothly, like military style, and others didn't. Now, the companies that ran smoothly, and one of the better things you should do as a young person is really pay attention to what a successful company CEO, president, or owner does. The company's CEO, president, whatever, the head honcho in charge, in very successful companies knows everything about how that company operates. I remember I used to work at a paper mill, basically, and the CEO would literally walk around and he knew how that machine operated, how this machine operated, how many RPMs turns this, and how many rolls of that requires this many rolls, and what the orders are. He is in tuned to everything. Why? He did the job. He started at the bottom, worked his way up in the company, and became head honcho. And that company is run by a person that is intimately knowledgeable with the machinery that he is in charge and tasked of being in charge of. So imagine you have a CEO that wants to go on road trips with a guy with a wig. Two guys with wigs go on a road trip in a Raptor. Goes to constant road races. Fancies himself a road racer. Fancies himself a gearhead. Goes to the Jay Leno program, and Jay Leno pretty much has to tell him what the hell he's talking about, because this guy can't get Porsche's name out of his fucking mouth like every road racing Schleckenberg. Okay? Road racing Schleckenbergs don't know shit about power engines. They know about suspensions, balance, and other bullshit, but power isn't really their forte. Prove me wrong on that. I'd love for you guys to prove me wrong that Schleckenbergs know much about power. They know more about track adjustments, toe, lip, wing, downforce. The shit that 99% of the people that buy a Mustang don't give a fuck about. We give a fuck about how the engine's going to hold up to boost, how much boost it requires to make this much. That's the vast majority of people that modify their Mustang. But Jim Farley, I don't think knows anything about the products. I think he gets a cheat sheet or has a teleprompter and he just reads what's out there. I don't think he actually is at the ground level understanding what his product is. And it shows because of the crazy amount of recalls under his tenure. And he'll say, well, those recalls were made by cars that were before my time. It doesn't matter, because if it happens during your tenure, it's your fault. No different than when presidents 2 years in can't say, well, that's my predecessor. 2 years in, you put it all in. You've been there for 4, 5, 6 years, and the company has not done better under your tenure. If only for optics, he should be fired, because at least it shows that Ford is doing something. Ford is going, you know what? Leadership isn't leading. He's too busy out there road racing. He's too busy out there quoting incorrect figures, saying that an electric truck is quicker than a Mustang twin turbo that doesn't exist in the current lineup. Then he goes out there and literally roasts a complete industry that's directly responsible for the performance gains on the company he represents vehicles, F-150 Mustang, even diesel stuff. And then he tries to say that the reason they locked it down is so that tuners don't blow up their cars. No, you locked it down because the EPA made you lock it down and you bent the fucking knee. Plain and simple. So I've been saying it for a very long time that Jim Farley's got to go, even if it's just for optics. Maybe he's doing a good enough job. You need to bring someone in that knows everything about the whole lineup intimately in it, and an engineer, somebody. Not some asshole that had a garage full of Porsches, and one of these stipulations for you getting the job is for you to get rid of the Porsches. That tells you exactly where his head was at. Imagine you actually get a CEO that has nothing but Fords in his garage, bleeds Ford blue, lives a Ford lifestyle. Nope, this guy was a Porsche guy, and you hired him, and he has done nothing but bumble his way through his tenure, and in the last couple of days made fun of a complete industry, lying his ass off, and then saying that a EcoBoost truck with one cam was eating itself while being supercharged because of a calibration. Absolutely crazy stuff. So I put it on Facebook. All right, I put it up on Facebook because I knew it was going to get some traction there. And I'll be honest, some of the comments are just as stupid. I said, he claimed the tune shoot up the cams on a Supercharged Ecoboost F150. Please fire this guy at Ford Motor Company. I did tag him. And some of the comments are really stupid. Let's say all comments. Energía de polla pequeña. Yeah, man, those tunes starve the phasers. Oh, you heard? By this logic, says Mark McKay, can a tune fix a leaky ass sunroof from my piece of shit Raptor? Nardy's in there talking that shit. Sounds like Ford is either currently going to be offering a supercharger and a tune for the EcoBoost F150's, and this is how he's recommending buying a Ford-only product. I think he didn't have breakfast this morning. And then this guy, who is probably the dumbest guy commenting on this whole thing, says this: crazy how no one here in critical thinking, not even forming a proper sentence, shitty ass tune can definitely cause all this. Can cause knock, then drop lifters and starts to fuck shit up with the right recipe with a shitty tune. My 6.2, remember guys, we're talking about a Ford product here with overhead cams, and he goes, my 6.2 ate my lifters, then my cam. So I mean, this is not ridiculous to think. Plus this truck is boosted, which internals probably can't handle. Y'all crazy to think mishaps don't happen. This is why I don't go outside. Because there are people like that outside. People like that shouldn't vote. I think there should be an aptitude test for people to vote. And one of them is, can a tune cause one cam out of 4 to fail? Unbelievable. A good company owner, CEO is someone who actually does the shit. I remember there was a that paper mill. There was also a logistics company I worked for, and the guy up top was actually a dock worker, then in a dispatcher, then a operator, then became president, and not president, but he became like the like that station's chief. And the place ran wonderfully because if someone's out, he'll do the job. He'll hop on a forklift. He'll get on the dispatch. He'll get on selling. That guy was excellent. And I'm like, this place runs so freaking well. And when you work for a lot of different places and you could see which ones run really well, it's because the guy up top, when a man up top runs the show and knows everything, all the nuts and bolts in the place. And look where I work now. Right now where I work, for fun, my boss takes a 6R80 transmission, throws it in a 3,200 pound car, puts about, according to his math, 8,000 horsepower to it, and runs 6s in events. So he knows stuff, does stuff, gets it. Yeah, basically, I'm explaining why senior and junior are Gs. They know everything about the product that they are selling intimately. Jim Farley doesn't. Explore a pillar recall, so put tape over the issue and parts are available. I feel that's the problem today, that they hire people that are out of touch. I think Jim Farley likes the limelight. Some of the better I know you guys probably don't like Elon Musk, depending on your politics, but Elon Musk is a perfect example of a guy who's maybe not a CEO in all the companies, but a president or a person that knows the product intimately. He supposedly saw that Tesla was having a bunch of recalls and issues with their production line. He stayed there for a whole year. He said he slept on the couch and he was in the assembly line, and he fixed the assembly line issues by going through every single process. He said, I went through every single process: the interior, the sound deadening, the battery installation, the dumb little wire that we didn't need, the installation department. And the sound department said, this guy said, I eliminated complete processes so that it was streamlined in such a way, and it took a whole year. You didn't hear about him? Nothing. When he pops out and starts talking shit is when he gets into trouble. When he puts his head down and concentrates on his companies thrive. Farley, if you were good at your job, you will put your head down and go to the assembly line and work it. That's right. Put on the exoskeleton suit and go, well, this is stupid. Why can't you just lift it and throw it on? Well, the union, well, I mean, how much is this exoskeleton? $80,000. How much is it to charge it? How much is it to service it? How many redundant pieces? Why can't you just shove the tire on? Unbelievable. Could you imagine how streamlined Ford would be if you had someone of the ilk of Elon Musk heading up shop? Look at what's happening right now with, let's be honest, the government. This morning, I saw something that made me smile. Pete Hegseth is out there. He is the Secretary of War. And he's out there saying, if you're a fat fuck, you're going to exercise until you, because we are the War Department. So I'm not going to have fat fucks with beards walking around talking tough when you can't pass a simple PT test. My God, I love that. I love that. Old school, tough shit. No, we got motherfuckers out there being all soft. You need another exoskeleton? You need 3 15-minute breaks? You need $100,000 a year to put on a tire and a bumper and a light? And you wonder why the company is shit and the product is shit. Alex, can I twin turbo my Whipple? Apparently you can. What was Alex's ideal power range? Here we go, Boundless Black. Read the room. Of course it could eat a cam. A completely different platform had a similar issue. It must be similar for this platform. Careful with that voter aptitude test. The government would probably make the answer yes. Jim Farley surrounded himself with yes men so he can feel like a top G. I don't know. Look, Ford. What's it cost you to tell Jim Farley, I need you to go through all the processes of the F-150? After this, I'd call him. I go, hey, Jim Farley, how you doing? This is the Ford CEO, the Ford president. Who's the Ford president? I'm sure his name is Ford. Yeah, so after that comment, we got a bunch of blowback from tuners who were like, what the fuck did we do to piss you off? What tuner pissed on your Cheerios? You know what? You want to inflate my head? Tell me that Jim Farley is referencing me on this situation. Oh, brother, the blue check mark would be, oh, come on, stop it. I don't think so, though. I think he just popped off on some dumb shit that he had no idea about, thinking it was going to be innocuous and it's just going to go into the ether. And then someone like me picks it up and goes, no, everything you said was not only wrong, but it's libelous. Imagine me going out there as a CEO of a big, important brand, and people that make your product better, you shit down their throat and expect them to be like, yeah, you know, that makes total sense. You basically said a shit tune caused one cam to fail on a twin-turbo V6 supercharged vehicle. What the fuck are you talking about? Ford needs its own Pete Hegseth to call them out. Correct. So this is what I think needs to happen. The president of Ford calls Jim Farley, says, hey, I need you to do me a favor. Tomorrow, you're going to go to the F-150 assembly line, and you're going to work every station that week. That's your job this week. Why? Because what you said, I realized something. I hired someone that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So I need you to go to the assembly line, and you're going to put the cab on the vehicle. They're going to teach you how to do that, or you're going to see how it's done, and then you're going to do it. And you're going to put a wheel on. You're going to put some brake lines on. You're going to maybe put the motor in. You're maybe going to tighten the bolts on the cross member of the transmission. You are going to do everybody's job on the assembly line for a week. And then we're going to have a conversation as to what you saw, what you learned, and how that comment made me want you to do that. And then he's going to go, yeah, I fucked up. I had no idea that you couldn't supercharge a twin-turbo EcoBoost truck. Yeah, that sounds really stupid. And yeah, and do you think that a calibration change would cause the cam to get chewed up? Or maybe the phaser that we install could fail and not a tune? Because I don't know of anything in the tune that I can do to make it eat a cam. I wish I could do that. How do you do that? Unreal. Justin Michael says, for the big guns that actually end up losing weight that are in the military will come out better for it with a huge appreciation for the hard work and respect themselves. Is Jim Farley's daughter's boyfriend the guy with the Mustang that's charged with the 7.5-inch pistons? I don't know. But I heard that AI JJ the boss heard about a completely new power adder and he wants in. It was crazy.
Race me in your Supercharged Ecoboost F150, you pussy. I bet you won't race her assholes. If I win, I fuck yours. If I lose, you fuck mine. I hear tunes can make the truck chew on a camshaft. I wonder if a tune can make me chew on yours.
Wait, what was that about tunes on a camshaft?
I hear tunes can make the truck chew on a camshaft. I wonder if a tune can make me chew on yours.
He is so wild.
I hear Ford has a supercharged Ecoboost F150 coming out. Better rebuilt old heifer in case he wants to race for ball sacks. Ugh.
You know, it's pretty wild to me that he would say that. Because then people go, wait a minute, is this new power adder we don't know about? Tri-charger with 7.5-inch pistons? I cannot believe that you left us in the dark of that new power adder. I want to hear the factual story about what happened with the boyfriend's F-150. Hell, we can't be sure it's even an F-150. The boyfriend of Jim Farley's daughter, I am personally asking you to email me, ydbt4life@gmail.com, and tell me the story of how your supercharged F-150 with an EcoBoost, one cam got ate up after a calibration. I need you to do that for me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I just heard that AIJJ DeBoss was like really, really pissed off at the whole situation, and he wanted where is North, South, run for miles, chew, run me, bump on balls head. Where is it? There it is. He's just mad about the truck.
Race me in your supercharged EcoBoost F-150, you pussy. I bet you won't race for assholes. If I win, I fuck yours. If I lose, you fuck mine.
He's always said crazy shit.
Now looky here, these be them rules for the race. Number 1, jump and I eat your ass. Number 2, the chase is anal sex. And 3, if you jump, we come in your booty hole. Who's in?
Who's in? Oh fuck. Anyway, you can't keep from laughing. Nobody cracks up Alex more than himself. Yeah, I mean, I'm really the funniest guy I know. I tuned my truck and it turned gay. Fuck. You know, I'm blown away that the people that say stuff like that, no one checked them. Like, where's that podcast? I want to hear that podcast. Where the hell's the podcast? Let me see what podcast it was. He said it was a certain podcast, and if somebody can find it, link me to it. I want to hear that part. Let me see. Modify for decision is also on this week's episode of the Decoder Podcast. Here we go. Ford CEO Farley on China. Where? Please, somebody find the Nilay Patel. Find the part where he says, my daughter's boyfriend, his F-150 got ruined from a tune. The cam got ate up. Need to find that sound clip that says, everything you said made everyone in the room dumber. As of right now, like Chevy's the only ones innovating. All Fords of success has been an accident. I don't know about that. Because I saw LTs on trucks, NA trucks, rods flying out of it. Potentially $1 billion recalls. So that might trump everything. Make it a clip so we could spread it. He had an EcoBoost in the bed of the F-150. Gotcha. That makes sense. My brother's nephew's brother's horse supercharged twin turbo F-150 ate a cam. It's unfortunate that Ford is going down the shitter due to a moron at the helm. Sometimes it takes this to turn a company around. I would say this is not rock bottom, but it's really close. Because slandering a complete industry that was attacked by the EPA, that sole purpose it was weaponized, right? Government was weaponized against the tuning industry. Ask Corey from PPEI about that whole situation. Ask Lund Racing, where they were literally held at gunpoint for an Engage and an AMS 2000. Could you imagine? You're like, get down, motherfucker. What the fuck is this? It's an Engage. Oh, yeah, what's it do? It programs your car and it kills your cam. Oh, you know what? We're taking it. Evidence. 3 years later, they give it back, and you're like, what the fuck happened there? $100 says that the cam that got chewed up was the ones that drives the high-pressure fuel pump. Alex, do you type out what the AI says, or are you recording your own voice for your voice changer? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. These are literally AI JJ the Boss people. So
Man, I'll race you. How about this bet? If I win, I suck your dick. If I lose, I suck your dick twice.
I mean, look, that's 100% AI JJ the Boss, not me. I don't know what you're talking about. The way JJ the Boss talks and Jim Farley might have a lot of secret meetings together. I mean, Farley has said some wild shit too. You know what I mean?
For my next trick, I'll make the Mustang a compact truck. We'll call it the Cuckstang. Take my ass, Elon Musk. Man, I could go for a stiff glass of anal sex right now.
I am building a spaceship so I can launch Ford vehicles where they are most useful. To Uranus.
Fuck. I love it. Because I had really nothing to talk about this week. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make it up as I go along. And sure enough, Jim Farley puts his foot right in his mouth. Turvey in the house. How's your 352 SN coming along? How's Sully from Godsmack? Can't read the room. I'm at work. My fault. His daughter's boyfriend. Right. I think the real story was that his daughter chewed up some cams. I find it hard to. I mean, AI JJ the Boss said something about can a tune make me chew on your camshaft? Weird.
I hear tunes can make the truck chew on a camshaft. I wonder if a tune can make me chew on your.
The way he goes, like he can't.
I hear tunes can make the truck chew on a camshaft. I wonder if a tune can make me chew on your. Me chew on your.
Fuck. I love it. Great answer. I'm satisfied. They treated the N-Gage like the password to a bomb. Hello, Lund. JJ the Boss here. What if Farley's daughter's boyfriend is Turvey? Could you imagine? Brother. So, what as a CEO of any car company ever called out, like, why the aftermarket tuners? Like, out of all people to puppy kick, why would you puppy kick to them? They're just trying to make your product better. Like, tuning made your product better. Remember the number 8 issue on 11 to 14 GTs, where the number 8 would just like spontaneously combust? And then tuning figured out, well, that one gets the hottest, so maybe we could throw some more fuel back there, or maybe we can balance the coolant flow by balancing, the left and right side, the bank 1 and bank 2, tying them together. So the aftermarket fixed a lot of your issues. And do you think people were like mind blown when the Ford Performance 600 horsepower supercharger was coming out? Or was it when E85 started going in there, when people started turbocharging these Coyotes, that people started going, holy shit, there's a lot here? And then people wanted to buy it. As a matter of fact, aftermarket tuning brought people from other platforms to the Gen 2 and Gen 3 Mustang. The 10R80 in factory form was dog shit. Tell me, Ford, what amazing vehicle did you put out there that had a 10R80 behind it besides the Raptor R, which got beat by the TRX stock for stock? Could you hang your hat on and say it's amazing? Or did every single vehicle that you put out since the Coyote, hell, since your tenure, Jim Farley, has been made better by tuning? His daughter's boyfriend probably got the Burble tunes. I dated a chick that looked like Sully Emma Erna from Godsmack, the Cuckstang. Starkey put his order in already. Oh my God, I shouldn't have read that. I got my argon tank for my welding stuff. I just need tungsten and filler rod and then ready to make headers. Dad pulled out his 331 Fox, and I'm going to see if headers also fit the oh my God, shut the fuck up. How's Farley going to blame an aftermarket and we have proof of his tune, stock tune, throwing codes at 2,000 miles on the dash? That's right. The 2024 F150 that is owned by UPR, I got in it, wet watt, through misfire codes. Is that reliable? Is that like something you hang your hat on? Because he says, well, the aftermarket doesn't have the access Ford does. Really? Interesting. Then why is it, in terms of performance, Ford hasn't made anything better than the aftermarket is able to make? Name a product that was made, that was never improved upon by the aftermarket that Ford has ever made in history. Stop it. Deflect onto the tuners. Right. I think he is just puppy kicking because a lot of the people in those podcasts would never push back. Get on this podcast, Jim Farley. Jim Farley, you should do what Charlie Kirk used to do. He'd go into enemy territory and talk it out. I'm willing to give you an open format, but there's going to be hard questions and there's not going to be any ass kissing. If you want to get the eyes and ears of the performance and racing industry, and you need to explain why you said what you said, like we're retarded. Like, explain what you've seen in aftermarket calibrations that made you say that thing. Or did you just use that weird example, which could have been a phaser issue, and then you said it was a supercharged F150 EcoBoost? Obviously, we have a lot of questions. You have an open invitation. An hour, half hour, I'm going to get a list of questions, and you're not going to get away by just saying all this stuff. I'm going to push back. It's going to be debatable. It's going to be something that you're going to actually get real questions from real people that aren't sucking your dick for access. So we'll see if you're down with that bullshit. You won't. You won't. No fucking way. You're going on these podcasts nobody watches. I'm trying to find that podcast. Does anyone have a link to it? Why do you go on these soft-ass podcasts that nobody watches? Smoking tire. Guys out there sucking your dick, gurgling your cock. I'm not, fuck all that. Can't wait for Alex's 10-year anniversary. Turvey will still be giving us updates. 42 minutes, he talks about ECUs. I don't have a link. Do you have a link? Maybe you can't post links because you're not a mod. Biggest mistake was selling his son-in-law an EcoBoost. Jason Lope says, brother, you have a CEO that is at least interested in driving a race car around the track and is pushing to continue to produce a performance vehicle. There's value in that. No, we don't. We have a guy that likes to joyride, lie about his products, push products that lose the company money, has had the worst recalls in history of the company. He has been at the helm of that. Do you think Jason Lopez, because he hops in a fucking car and goes in circles or drifts, that makes him valuable? That makes him a fan. CEOs should not be going on joyrides. CEOs should be going to every single process at the company that they're in charge of and seeing how to make the process better. Okay, this is the engine plant. What do you guys need? What are we missing? Do you have any complaints? Please be vocal. It will not be used against you when it comes time for a raise or whatever. We need truth. That's what a CEO does. A leader leads by example. He doesn't stay up there in the ivory tower and then race around, hang out with Frankie Muniz and do podcasts to the ether that nobody will watch. A real CEO should be in the trenches with their employees, with his employees, so that they can see, man, this motherfucker's got our back. He actually gives a fuck about the process. He gives a fuck about what happens here. He gives a fuck about the quality. Nope. He is saying that an electric truck will be quicker than a vehicle that doesn't exist. Could you imagine saying, oh, your CEO's really engaged, and then he mentions a vehicle that does not exist? The Mustang twin turbo. The fuck's he talking about? As someone who's welded for nearly 30 years and taught himself how to TIG weld, you're fucking stunned if you think you'll be making headers worth a fuck in less than 2 years. Turvey, you're stunned. Jason Lopez, none of that means much when he's a dunce, though. Exactly. Shout out to John Jr. Manually shifting due to clutch slip, short shifting 2-3, 1600 timing. Okay, read the fucking room. Read the room. I'm going to get a fire started and iron the pot to melt some rubber and then create the mold to make my tires. I'm not going to click on anything Turvey says because I just lose brain cells. The link is in the Patreon and timestamp. Thank you very much. So let's go to Patreon, group chats. Let's go to YWT chat. And you said it's at 44 minutes? Where is it? Here it is. 44 minutes.
New approach.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the chats. Okay, here we go. And let me open the chat. You said 44 minutes? Let me see. 44 minutes. Okay. So let's see what this fucking guy said. He said 44 minutes. Let's go. 44 minutes. Right. There we go. It's good enough.
A little slice of that America. Everyone wants to do a burnout. And
holy shit.
As far as the tunability of the vehicle, I think the call-in question is an outstanding question. This is a real dilemma for us, and there's no real easy answer. We want people to modify their cars, but we also have to take quality really seriously, and of course privacy as well. I think he was talking more about the performance of the vehicle And so our approach would be to give people over time an option to digitally adjust their vehicle from Ford.
Yeah, those wicked Ford E85 tunes.
So that we can maintain the quality, but still have the user have their own kind of idea of performance. And that's different for everyone. And I think that vision will come to life in the coming years. The aftermarket is a kind of opportunity, but it's also a big challenge for us because a lot of people like to write software in the control module that controls the powertrain that gets better performance. But what they don't know and what the user may not be aware of is all the reliability and the quality issues that they may be bringing up that are very expensive. My daughter's boyfriend is one of these people. He bought a brand new F-150. He's got a supercharger on it. And, he recently had a bunch of error codes because he updated the ECU against Ford's standards, and now he has thousands and thousands of dollars of expensive repairs because the vehicle has started chewing its camshaft. And, it was great that he could get 650 horsepower out of his EcoBoost F-150.
Okay, you cannot say he was misquoted. Right from the horse's mouth, he said exactly what the article quoted.
He didn't think about what he was doing to the reliability of the vehicle, but we have to at Ford. So all I would say is it's a tough problem to solve. We always want to give customers a chance to tune their vehicles, but we actually know a lot about the reliability of the vehicle. And are we as a brand going to suffer our quality reputation?
Oh my Lord, I got to stop there. Your reputation couldn't get lower. The only thing, when we talk about Ford as a product, we, in the aftermarket, we don't think of the Explorer ST. Those guys are all gay, right? We think of the Mustang. We think of the Power Stroke diesel. We think of the F-150. Because when you're talking about the performance aftermarket, the performance vehicles are basically three: the Mustang, the F-150, and the diesel F2 and 350 and 450. So 3 vehicles is what we really give a fuck about. And those vehicles, people are willing to blow them up to get the best performance and be the fastest guy with that platform in their town, in their city, at their workplace, in their state, on their coast. They don't give a fuck about reliability. So imagine you were to say, I'm going to pick select shops, Corey PPEI, highest volume, I would say Ford tuner, right? F-150 and Mustang, sorry, highest volume is Lund Racing. And we're going to work with them so that we can tell them what the limits are, what the limits should be, and to keep reliability at the highest possible point, to the point that we're comfortable still offering a warranty with a Lund tune, right? Imagine you were to say, hey, instead of going internal with the tuning process, why not give Lund access to everything? Sign some documents, sign some NDAs, sign some non-competes, whatever the fuck. But we need access. And then if you say, hey, if you want to sauce up your truck, here's a tune that's still retains all factory warranties because we've done the vetting with them and we're comfortable that this tune we could copy paste on every car and we could still retain the warranty. And then if you want to go beyond that, well then it's implied that the warranty doesn't cover anything. And you risk everything and all liability is on you. That is the easiest solution. That would be the easiest solution to the whole problem. But no, you come up with an anecdotal example that makes no fucking sense. It's nonsensical. It makes no sense based on every single word you said, which tells me it's a lie. The hardest thing about a lie is remembering it. Remember that, guys. The hardest thing about a lie is remembering it. Because if it actually happened, you can't forget it. But if you make it up in your head, and then you got to remember something you made up in your head, it's really difficult to remember. That's why men get caught in lies all the time. So just say the truth. And if the truth is mundane and boring, fine. But you came up with a bullshit example that was insanely easy for me to debunk. And now you're suffering the consequences for it. And I hope it gets back to you that you're absolutely full of shit. And the solution to this problem is a lot simpler than you would think. The problem is these big companies, they love paperwork. They love processes. When in actuality, you need to cut the middleman from everything and go straight to the source. Like a lot of people, just get it done. The people that I've seen and I've experienced that have the best outcomes in their companies are people that are directly tied to manufacturing and know everything that's going on in their factory, company, or whatever. And those people have no middlemen. They literally wave a wand and it gets done. They're not the experts. You are exactly. Damn it, I'm late. I'm going to go back over again. Start over, please. Good morning, good morning. So he locked the PCM and nearly sunk the entire brand over anecdote, knowing full well that Ford doesn't have a warranty-tuned vehicle. Ford EcoBoost Supercharged F150? Exactly. Shouldn't he be speaking with you? Shouldn't he be speaking on what you do not... Shouldn't be speaking on what you do not understand. Hey, Ford, why don't you worry about all your recalls before you come at tuning? Is Dodge or Chevy suffering? He pretty much wants to make more money trying to have Ford sell tunes. Right. So he wants to have an in-house tuning department when all you have to do is give the okay to people that are experts in it. You're experts in stock shit. You're experts in warranties. But based on everything I've seen and read, you don't test it beyond the stock capabilities. Like, you don't just bolt on superchargers just to see what would happen. Again, one of the better examples I ever came up with in history was when Joe and I went to SEMA 2017. We wanted to talk to an engineer there, and there happened to have been a powertrain engineer near the Ford display where they had the rods for the 350, the rods for the Voodoo, the rods for the Coyote, the Gen 3, So we asked them a very simple question. Because not a lot of people were supercharging their GT350s back then. But the one that Lund tuned made 840 horsepower on like 10 PSI and E85. And we were like, what the hell? That is nuts. So that's when we started going, okay, this motor, these heads, these cams are the sauciest shit we've ever seen. So we started going, okay, why not pursue the supercharging or turboing route? So we asked a powertrain engineer, hey, what would happen if you were to supercharge a Voodoo motor? And he said it would blow up instantly. Remember, this guy, who is an engineer, said it would blow up instantly. And then PRI, 3 years later, there's an Iron Coyote sitting at PRI, and the people from Ford Racing / Ford Performance were genuinely excited over it. Did you see that? Yeah, we saw it. What do you think? Sleeve Coyotes have gone 6s. That's like 2,500 horse, according to Senior, 3,500 horse, or 8,500 horse. But this is an unnecessary. This is a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. So that's when I saw people excited over an Iron Coyote. I started looking at those people and I'm like, you don't know anything, do you? When a sleeve Coyote is lighter, and every racer on the planet is going to pick a sleeve Coyote that can take 2,500 horse over a Iron Coyote that's rated for 2,000 horsepower because of weight. And when we saw that, we're like, these guys have no idea. These guys have absolutely no idea what the aftermarket is, what it does, what it likes, how it moves. They have no idea. The problem is not just him. Some of the engineers think they're smarter than Lund. And I think it is a insecurity. See, engineers will look at you and say, oh, we made this Predator, 760 horsepower, blah, 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 blah. And then, Lund and other tuners have gone 8 seconds in the quarter mile, which is effectively 1,100 horse in that DCT piece of shit. And then you go, oh, that's crazy. No, that's actually very normal. Gen 3, 10R80s, 60 to 130 in the 4s. Stupid numbers. 8s in the quarter mile with pretty easy stuff. And they're like, on the stock motor. And they're like mind blown by that, which tells me they don't test it. They don't have a need to test it. They need to be compliant with the EPA, make sure you're within government guidelines while making the most power possible, and you're done. You don't go beyond that. You don't test the cool shit. There is no skunk works department. There is no John Coletti building a super stallion on E85 flex fuel back in 98 and showing you the capabilities of what could be. There is no person like that at Ford. He's not an expert at all. He's an expert at bullshit. Iron Coyote for real. Scoffs, you don't want to supercharge a 350? The crank will snap off. Going to mod nats, Alex? Nope. And if I do, nobody will know. I'll wear out fucking fake nose and shit and hang out. Wonder how those iron blocks sold. They didn't. Alex, but you guys didn't tell the engineer that you would change the fuel injectors. Akio is not priced either. The GT, who gives a fuck? Come on, man. Come on. Read the room. Hey, guys, checking in for a like. Says Craig Walls. Out to dinner with the wife. We'll watch the replay tomorrow. No, play it right now. Like, play it right now. Do me a favor, Craig Walls. Get on and play it right now. Live. Yeah. What are you watching, honey? Alex's show. The werewolf. Seeing you just threw his old fashioned at his monitor. Fuck you, Alex. Aaron earning Iron Coyote. Engineers have an ego. Being humble isn't in their code. John Bonanno states that there have been 116 recalls in 2025 alone, and 63 in the year 2924. So apparently he has element 115 and he accessed the time portal, went to 2924, and apparently 899 years from now, they would have fixed the recall issue from 116 to 63. The only OEM engineers, I believe, at this point are the ones that built the ZR1. Honestly, those are the other ones you should talk to. And by the way, the ZR1 has outpaced E-Ray production, which is kind of wild to me that the ZR1 is being made more than the E-Ray. Porsche pulled the same shit with the GT3. They said you can't use the lightweight clutch and flywheel because the motor would blow up. 911 ST come out for $500,000. And I think, see, Ford probably did test the Voodoo. And they were like, this thing made 750 raw horsepower on pump gas on 10 PSI. Yup. That's going to shit all over the GT500. Maybe. What do we do about it? Lie? How? I don't know. What if somebody says, hey, why don't you throw a blower on there? Make like 750 on pump gas, 12-to-1 compression, big fucking crazy flowing heads, good cams, high revs. This thing's badass. Stick shift. Imagine a GT350R supercharged on E85 at a boost level that makes it still road race crazy. Like a black with blue stripe GT350R, rear seat delete, radio delete, E85, boosted, 820 horsepower, and still retains all of the great balance that it has. Because let's be honest, don't get me wrong, 500 horsepower is great, but 800 horsepower is much better. Ford Performance doesn't have answers for anything. A few years ago, I called and tried to see what would be needed to be done to an S197 to use the Gen 3 crate motor. No one I got connected to could help. I'm gonna be honest, Matthew Gray, nobody on the planet can make that work. If you get a Gen 3 crate motor that has different cams in a different park position, different connections for the cams, different physical, a high pressure fuel pump, there is no way to control that with a Gen 1 control system. Matthew Gray, you want to know how you do it? You put a Gen 3 control pack in an S197 and fuck the body control module, get a Holly dash, and you could put it becomes a Coyote swap vehicle at that point. Ford Performance is not going to help you make a Gen 1 control system control a Gen 3. That is ridiculous. I'm going to tell you that's ridiculous. Why would they help with that? That's a bad example. I bet Craig Wallace tuned out before you could catch him. Man, the senior math is not going to get old. Alex is the GOAT right after Nick F. Who's Nick F? Oh, stop it. So, is the UPR F150 of 2025, that engine code, any word on it? No, I told them that they probably should take it to the dealership. If we need to revert it back to stock, I'm willing to revert it back to stock. And then, go to the dealership, fix the misfire that was present before the truck was tuned. Get it all fixed, put the tune back in it, have a good life. I think Magnuson is getting pretty close to maybe releasing something for that. I'd love to see a TVS Supercharged F150 quad cab, low E85, run like a 10 something or a low 10 or a high 9, and just have it retain all the great drivability and stuff. Because it's only Whipple right now for Supercharger and Pro Charger and ESS. If you want to put what equates to be a mount for Starship as a crank support. Crazy. What high performance Mustang shop do you recommend closest to Maryland? So this is great right here. So if you go to lundracing.com and you type in dealers, and you Google that, and this map comes up with all of our dealers, you can then see what we recommend you use. So let's do it. Oh my Lord, we got somebody in. We got, whoa, hey, come here, pay with Virgin, no problem. Who is this? Alma Tour Performance, badass. Go there. Wow, could you imagine? Maryland, here you go. Washington, Maryland, who is it? Competition Speed and Sound is one of our dealers. And in C&D Autotech, which is Chuck Wizarinsky, Evolution Performance. So if you're in Baltimore area, you have 3 dealers close to you. You got Chuck Wizarinsky, Evolution Performance, and Competition Speed and Sound. If you want to make a little bit more of a drive, you got plenty in North Carolina, about 3 in North Carolina. You got 2 in Georgia. I think Danny Built is here. And this is D&G Racing. Great people. We also have Steeda is also a dealer. So, yeah, got a little bit of everything. So go there, check them out. And they'll take care of your car, take care of your Go Fast goodies, Go Fast needs. And they'll probably install a supercharger in your EcoBoost F150 if you ask for it. Yeah, crazy stuff. Unbelievable. I'm blown away by the whole situation with Farley. I cannot get over it. What the hell just happened here? The thing just blew up. Oh, the chat went away. Check close to Kansas. Why don't you just go to the dealers and you could check. GT350 with 10 PSI built transits to chef's kiss. 350 with a predator blower combo or lock the cams, delete DI, which kind of defeats the purpose of a Gen 3 swap. No, Smasher Devourer. The car still has to have cam, crank, sync stuff, right? The cams still report where the fuck they gotta be. So there's physical connections. If the cams are locked, technically you're right. I don't know if the thing will throw a misfire code nonstop. It's almost not even worth doing. Damn, Ford performance credibility restored. I swear you just don't read the room. Checking in late. How's the family? Heritage C350R with a blower. What Heritage paint job? Of course it's in Kuwait. What front struts and rear shocks combo would you recommend for an 800 horsepower Mustang street car? Doing what? Going to Publix? Going to Publix to get a pub sub? Going to Publix to get a chicken tender pub sub? Lettuce, green pepper, salt, cheese, a little bit of spicy mayo. That's how relevant that question is. Love you. You're a member. Come on. You know better. Bro, for what purpose? I'm just stunting. I'm just going to Cars and Coffee. 2650 blower on a Gen 1 V85. Do you recommend a 3.6 pulley for safe boost? Yeah, whatever makes 10 PSI. Dave Frank says, first gen S197 Gen 2 swap with the Gen 2 control pack and a Holly dash was the only route, and in my opinion, the best route, but not easy. I got smart friends. So Dave Franks has an S197 YSB or YTB or something, big Vortec blower, ran 8 with a turbo 400, fast car. So, I mean, look, I think the S197 is just going to end up being the Fox body of the future because it looks just so retro and cool. And there's like 3 versions of it. 4. Technically, the 05 to 09, the 10 to 14, actually 10 to 12 had a certain style. 13, 14 had its own style. So, I mean, you have basically 3 versions of an S197 you can plop engines into. People have thrown small block Fords in there. People have thrown LSs in there. People have thrown a little bit of everything in there. So, in my opinion, that's a wonderful swap vehicle. And people like Matt Sopa in Arizona, who he is actually selling a Coyote swap Expeditions, 2-wheel drive. It's kind of neat. Check it out. It's like $13,000. He's been trying to sell it for a little while. So, go to Matt Sopa Facebook. You'll see he's selling a Coyote swap Expedition with a 6R80. The aftermarket is ridiculously robust. But the problem is, don't complicate your life by making setups that aren't really supported by the aftermarket. Like a Gen 2 motor is more than enough. Why a Gen 3? because it has 12-to-1 compression. Come on, stop it. Just throw a boost at it. Its Missouri side might get shot way out there. Would need to have a Gen 1 crank sensor, trigger wheel, and rear main seal properly. He probably means drag racing, since this channel talks about drag racing. Again, some people say roll racing. If you're going to drag race, you don't need anything special. At 800 horsepower, let's be honest. You're not making enough jam to really make a difference. 800 is a lot, but it's low 9 seconds a lot. So some what is it called? I think it's AK valving. If you go to Viking.com, Viking struts, Viking Performance, okay? And I think they give you combos. They literally give you combos. Search by vehicle, Ford, Mustang. Look at that, Mustang. And let's go present. So S550. Oh, search by vehicle, to application view, street focus. Wow. Select competition focus. Okay, street focus. He said street car. Okay, so, wow. I guess we're downloading this, aren't we? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus, oh my God. Okay, boom. Okay, so, it gave me everything. Chevy, fuck my ass. Ford. Oh my God. Fairlane. Ford, Mustang, Berserker. Okay, here we go. Warrior. Ideal for mostly street use with occasional track use. Voyager. Valve for maximum comfort and ride quality. Berserker. Upgraded performance shocks that can be valved, revalved based on distinct uses and specifications. DA. Double adjustable. TA. Triple adjustable. Same as DA with compression further and low speed. Blah, 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 blah. And we're going to talk about... Okay, so basically you want Warrior, valved shit. And let's see if we got Mustang. Bonneville, Plymouth, Oldsmobile, Mercury, Ford. Yeah, it doesn't say shit. It didn't say shit for Mustang. Ranger, Ranchero, Thunderbird, Torino. Mustang is the only one that matters. Here we go. Cobra IRS, Mustang. Here we go. 15 to present. So, Voyager, excluding Magna Ride, factory upper mount delete. So apparently there's like 2 part numbers. So do yourself a favor, go to Viking Performance, download their PDF, and right here it pretty much outlines what you need. You're welcome. I Googled it for you. You know, half of my job is Googling shit for people. I'll be honest with you. Half of my job is Googling shit for people. Hey, Alec, what's this code? I screenshot the Google search. Here you go. And they're like, oh, I am blown away that you have all of the world's history that ever happened, ever, and every book ever written, every article ever written, anything ever written ever is at the palm of your hands. And you email me to ask me what a code means. I'm blown away by that. Would you recommend sticking to stock cams on a 1600 horsepower Mustang that sees the track every now and then? Yeah, I've tuned cars that made 1500. I don't know if I made 1600, but I know I personally have tuned cars that have made 1500 on stock cams. 1300 is easy. I'm sure it's going to be a little tough, just more boost. Can you have the tune my Hennessy Mustang 800 wrapped in desert? I seen that Expedition. I want it. I bought Matt Sopa's plug-and-play harness for my 05 GT Coyote swap, and my gauge is working. I'm happy about it. BJ Cravat says, I picked up a 25 F150 last night for 300 miles. Currently, how long before the 10R stops shifting like an idiot? Once it gets tuned. The tune fixes everything on those vehicles. Eminem says, open question indeed. My apologies. Roll racing is all I do, although pub sub sounds good. No suspension adjustments. This is controversial. You need no suspension for roll racing. You are not hitting that car hard enough on asphalt or concrete to make the suspension work in a very favorable. Don't get me wrong, you can get better results. But at 800 horsepower, you get 3 bags of sand that are 150 pounds. And you take your absolutely stock suspension Mustang and you go roll racing with it. That's my wholehearted advice. I'm not here to sell you shocks. Others will say, oh, you need the Berserker, and you need this, and you need this, and this red part. Nope. If you have a bone stock Mustang and you're a roll racer at 800 horsepower, you need absolutely nothing for suspension. Sorry, suspension companies. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not going to go out there and pop off. I'm saying 3 bags of sand strategically placed in the trunk, a sticky tire, stock axle, stock drive shaft, and party. Need them Vikings on the Pontiac Bonneville? Right. Funny they didn't mention the revalved, rebranded Viking boy. If you email them, they'll tell you their recommendations. Alex, how do I use Google? Alex, you stated that VVT is... Okay, what's VVT? Drake, what's VVT? Because we got to start talking very specific here. Variable valve timing does not exist on Coyotes. How do I vary the valve? Drake, how do I vary the valve? Because VVT is variable valve timing. Coyotes don't have VVT. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. Why not just call an automatic a DCT? Call the automatic a DCT. Why not? What do you got in there? DCT? Really? What kind? 10R80. Well, that's not a dual clutch transmission. No, it's a 10 clutch transmission. But I call it a DCT. Same thing. Well, why do you got to be such a stickler about details? Why just roll with, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. No, I don't know what you meant. I have no idea. So if I go to a parts house and I'm like, can I get the VVT solenoid for my Coyote? He's going to go, what? First of all, he's going to say, is it 4-wheel drive? And you're going to go, no Mustang's 4-wheel drive. Actually, the Mach-E is. Oh, got me. So, can I get the variable valve timing solenoid replaced? It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? I'm looking at it right now. Oh, that's a variable cam. That's a phaser. That's the solenoid for the phaser. It's not a valve anything. This motherfucker. Variable valve timing. So tell me exactly how variable valve timing works in a Coyote Go. Which Pro Charger should I put in my Mustang? Alex hates VVT. I hate when people say VVT. Because they're Honda boys. Variable valve timing is not variable cam timing. Vig Vlak Torta. Vig Vlak Torta. Oh, shit. Fuck me. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he used C and V keys are very close together. But never mind. Yeah, he spelled it out. TIVCT to be exact. Yeah, twin independent variable cam timing. Hey guys, if I plan on using boosting, how often is too often? Say what, mean what you say. Meaning speak in the clear and concise manner. How do I switch the VTEC solenoid on my Coyote? And that's what I think. People say VVT. You know what I mean? This is the problem, right? Mexicans, I've had this argument with Mexicans, right? Mexicans don't know what gas means. Mexicans don't know what gas means. Mexican. If I say, get me E85 gas, do you just go, okay? Because it's not gas. It's fuel. Now, this is, I think, the problem with Mexicans. I think they think gas means fuel. Fuel could be anything. Fuel for a human is food. Fuel could be pump gas. The same fuel could be nitromethane. Fuel can be E85. But gas is very specific. Gas equals gasoline, a petroleum-based product. So when people say, yo, man, let me get some gas, I'm thinking 87 or 93. No, stupid, let me get the E85. What? I've literally had people say, Alex, can you make 1,000 horsepower on pump gas? I say, no. They go, what about E85? I go, that's not pump gas. They go, what is it? Pump ethanol. Well, same thing. It comes from a gas pump. Yeah. Anyway. Same, but different. Matt Oliver, what did you mean? Mexicans? Hello, lawn here. Drake, VTEC is variable valve timing and lift electronic control, i.e. variable valve timing. Get me gas and they bring you a pound of weed. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Puro pinche 956 la verga. Because they literally say gas is the same thing. Why are you being so... And then they go, you gay. Why? Because I speak English well? Yeah. Real men, they don't speak clearly. They speak stupid. So like you gay. And that's an insecurity. 100%. Diesel is not gas either. Right. You get it at the gas pump. Hey, go to the gas station and get me some gasoline. Okay. I pumped some gasoline in it. No, you're stupid. It's a diesel truck. You said put gasoline in it. Diesel gasoline, pendejo. Oh my God, que pendejo. Este no sabe nada. He's so stupid. He wants me to be like, oh, specific. I need aspirin. This is why y'all won't do flex tunes. Exactly. The other day, well, we do flex tunes now on 24 and up. 24 and up, we offer flex tunes. Why? It's a MAP sensor, MAP. It cannot be skewed by the MAF frequency, by incorrect learning, by the hood being open, by air leak. It's a MAP sensor. So the manifold absolute pressure MAP sensor is in the manifold. So it's not likely to be affected by like a loose cold air. Whereas a MAF equipped vehicle, 11 to 23 Mustang, has an MAF sensor. So we took it away. Why? Y'all fucking stupid. A lot of you are really stupid. You did not know how to let that thing learn, even though there were instructions. Guys, we sent a paragraph of instructions. People gloss over it. What now, man? What now? You read the directions. Which ones? The ones that were above your tune. That Declaration of Independence that was on top of your tune in the email? Yeah? You read that. Oh, fuck that. Just tell me what to do, man. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do. Good morning, good morning. What I missed, says Exxon Devil God. Is torta, excuse me, is torta an omelet or lesbian? Same thing, man. It's as bad as Brits making fun of us for saying gas. They call it gasoline petrol, a.k.a. crude oil. We want a war. We call it whatever the fuck we want. Call it whatever the fuck we want. At the end of the day, what matters is whatever the U.S. says. And that's the right answer. Fuck the rest of the world. There was a guy the other day talking about, oh man, Logan Paul bought a house in Puerto Rico, $44 million, man. That's fucked up. I'm like, why? Somebody sold it to him. Like, what's the problem with that? Well, you know, these colonizers come down. Colonizers? Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. And last time I checked, they weren't colonizing it. They conquered it. It was given to them in the Spanish-American War. So if you don't like being colonized, fight back. Throwing mangoes at the government. See how that goes. Shut up. Europeans be like, it's petrol. After adding a wishblower, what's needed to get proper IAT readings? What? Wait, Black Cat, what? Where do you think your IAT... Okay, Black Cat. What generation vehicle do you have? What generation vehicle do you have, Black Cat? People don't read. That's why everyone is in debt. Alex, I put hot dog water 50 in my car. Why does my 6 to 130 in the 15s? That's pretty cool. That's actually not bad. We start calling it T if you want. Fuck what they think. I agree 100%. So he's asking, how does IAT read on a centrifugal? Your MAF sensor is your IAT. Your MAF sensor is your IAT. Do I procharge or supercharge my EcoBoost? Conquered people don't get their shit back. Exactly. You don't get your shit back. You were conquered. Conquered. Man, you one of us. No, I'm not. I ain't one of y'all. You know how I know I'm not one of y'all? Fuck Bad Bunny. Everyone's like, oh, everyone complaining about Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl is one of these white guys with like Oakleys. Nope. Look at this. Fuck Bad Bunny. Clown shit. Clown shit. Dressing like a woman. Y'all proud of that motherfucker. Fuck out of here. Would the Cobb CAN bus E85 sensor work on Mustang? They sell a GM style ethanol sensor with adapter for Gen Raptors. Michael. there is no flex logic on Mustangs, or there is no flex logic on supercharged vehicles. There is no flex logic that shows that piggybacks off of a sensor. You understand? There is no pinning to do on a Ford vehicle that reads off of a sensor. There is no table that says, based off this sensor's reading, this ethanol percentage, the car gets this much spark advance. There is no flex logic via a sensor on any Ford vehicle, as far as I know. Can it be added with aftermarket stuff? Yes. Do we support it? I don't want to support it. I think it's fucking stupid. Sorry. Why does Henley put the MAF in the intercooler? I have no idea. Since the beginning of time, every manufacturer has put a MAF sensor in a round pipe. I have no idea why they started putting it in the intercooler. Same thing with ProCharger. Stolen land, conquered land. It's because Taylor Swift backed out. Alex said, fuck Bad Bunny, and Diddy took that as a challenge. Bad Bunny got his backshot audio leaked. Yeah, and then booked the Super Bowl. Crazy shit. Bad Bunny. Fucking Bad Bunny. Puerto Rico should be embarrassed by that artist. Embarrassed, but no. Like when Tito Trinidad got knocked out, I was so fucking happy. Bro, when Tito Trinidad got knocked out, first of all, he lost to Oscar De La Hoya. He lost. He lost that fight. Perdió. Then he got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins, right? And I was like, oh, so happy. Not because he lost. It's because people that thought he was invincible finally go, what? How can a Puerto Rican lose? I'm like, he's a human. And then when he was 900 years old, he fought a 8-time had been knocked out Roy Jones and got his ass beat by a 8-time got knocked out Roy Jones in that fight too. Thank you. Fuck that maricon pendejo. Hope they have ice at the Super Bowl. They'll have ice. Nothing better than watching Alex and playing Super Nintendo Conejo Malo. It's so stupid. I just don't identify with a lot of my people because, again, it's coming up. World Cup is coming up. Just watch how they act at the line. I don't want anything to do with those people. Those people. Don't forget Roy Jones too. Yeah, Roy Jones fucked him up. Old, had been knocked out. CTE Roy Jones beat the shit out of Trinidad. Bad Bunny paid to be in the Super Bowl halftime with his colon. I'm not going to play the sound clip because I don't know if it's authentic. But this one definitely. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? I can never hear that song and be like okay with it. Like every time a Meek Mill song comes out, I fucked in the ass. Get out of here. He lost to the guy that uses spandex and high heels. Right. Oscar De La Hoya. Look, Oscar De La Hoya fishnet. Yo, check it out. He lost to this guy. Yo, Trinidad, papá, tú perdiste. Este hombre te rompió la cara. Mira. This guy fucked you up. Bro, ¿qué pasó, Trinidad? Este hombre te rompió la cara. Mira. This guy fucked you up. He smashed you around. Abochórnate, Trinidad. Bro, could you imagine get your ass beat? See, my father was a very smart man. Not like book smart. He didn't really have a great job, a great career or anything, but he said one thing that to this day, it's so wise that you need to think about it for a long time to understand it. He came home one time and he looked a little disheveled, right? And I'm like, what happened? I'm saying in Spanish, Papi, ¿qué pasó? Papi, what happened? He's like, I'm going to give you some advice, Chucho. Never fight a gay guy. And I said, okay, why? He goes, because they're mans and womans at the same time. And 9-year-old me didn't understand it. I go, okay, But one time I was watching a fight and this guy was just scratching, clawing, and punching. Like, boo, boo, boo. I was like, oh, it's like fighting a cat. It's like you don't know what's coming at you. Nails, teeth. You know, so when he said never fight a gay guy because they're mans and womans at the same time. That should be on his tombstone. We haven't had a good Super Bowl halftime show in a while. Didn't Bad Bunny kiss a dude? There's a bear shit in the woods. Does Howdy Doody have a wooden dick? Oscar De La Weirdo. The craziest motherfuckers are always the best at what they do. Stoll's performer says, truck falls on its face from a dig. Went like during pull. P2112 with a brand new throttle body. P2112 is a throttle issue. Throttle body issue. Is it a VMP throttle body? Oscar wore lingerie and coke in his booty hole because they're men's and women's at the same time. Your dad, what's up? Puerto Rican Confucius. Bro, Oscar talking mad shit to Canelo, Dana White. Oscar's, what is it called? Something Tuesdays or Thursdays? Something Thursdays are great. But Bunny, Lost Bills Mechanic, left the live. Came back. Why? Okay. Come on. Kendrick killed it last year. Oh, yeah. Kendrick killed it. Bullshit. That's all bullshit. Roy Jones rap songs are classic. I think I'll get copyrighted. Roy Jones had a legitimate black song. Black song. It was a black song. It was a rap song. You probably don't even know it's Roy Jones singing that song. You probably heard it on a video game. Like a boxing video game, and you're like, wow, this thing slaps. You probably hear it on the radio. You're like, wow, who sings this? It's Roy Jones. It's not. He just doesn't sing it. He raps it. Can't be stopped. I don't know if I'll get copyrighted. Let me see. YouTube. Great. I love it. Can't be stopped. Roy. I'm like, wow, this is a good song. If it gets copyrighted, it gets copyrighted. I'll just get it. Dirty. Bro. I don't know why. And it's Roy Jones. But he's dancing too much. When you're a thug, you ain't dancing. He's out there dancing. If it gets copyrighted, I'll just delete it. I don't care. I'll just mute the sound. I just wanted to... For those of you that didn't know that Roy Jones was actually rapping, he was rapping. He actually would come into, like, singing his own songs and shit. It's good stuff. Damn, I feel old. I thought Bad Bunny was a woman. Might as well be. His songs are in games too. Kendrick won the battle, but Drake makes better music. Agreed. Okay, tell me what halftime show you like. You know what halftime show I like? D-Rock Fox? Prince, motherfucker! And that other little fucking midget that dances good. What's that other midget? He sings good, plays the drums. He's now in debt up to his eyeballs in Las Vegas because he's in deep gambling debt. So he's singing in casinos now. Those were good. Kendrick, fuck out of here. No rapper puts on a good show. No rapper. Not one rapper puts on a good show. It's a DJ and guys eating the microphone. Oh, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. One lyric. Anyone knew when that Kendrick Super Bowl was A minor? Exactly. Michael Jackson. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars was excellent. Bruno Mars was excellent in the halftime show. Prince was excellent in the halftime show. Kendrick. Yep, Prince in the Rain during the Colts-Bears Super Bowl. Brother, go ahead. Go there. Go watch the replay of Prince Super Bowl halftime show. Bruno Mars Super Bowl halftime show, and then tell me Kendrick's was good. Whipple, Gen 5, done. Whipple, done. Get a new throttle body. Now, the throttle body, if it has a gasket behind it, and you tighten it too hard, will distort the throttle body slightly, and it'll cause the motor, when the throttle body gets hot, because under the hood it gets stupid, to potentially bind. So, a lot of the people do this. They take the gasket out, and they put Permatex, a thin film of Permatex around there. They barely put it on and snug it to like nothing. Like, that's it. Walk away, and it should take care of any binding, if that's the issue. Mustang Fire and Order 2 by Junior. What's the best way to reach out to Junior? You hit him up in the ticket system. Truck makes 1,000 horsepower, so all the supporting mods, trans fuel, etc. Junior knows the file. Hit up Junior at in the ticket. Damn, I missed the line. Now I got to go back to listen to you. Rose Farley. Bruno Mars was really good. Just got truck built personally 1 year ago. Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson was really good. Exactly. For 1 second. Bruno Mars and Prince. You need those kind of people in the Super Bowl, not some guy rapping, giving us guilt trips about 400 years ago. I'm good on that. I'm done. I don't watch. I just walk away. Watch the game. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. So we covered Jim Farley blasting the tuning industry by saying that a F-150 EcoBoost with a supercharger got a cam fucked up because of a tune. That sentence right there is something I actually played him say. I read the article where he was quoted, and then I went and found the podcast, and he actually said that. And then he says that's why aftermarket tuners are tough to kind of like give them access to because they don't know what they're doing. So people should just come to us with a tune. Mind-blowing, libelous statement, basically saying that they lock the computers down because of tuning. No, you lock the computers down because of people's information, because you make them sync everything into the sync system, and the EPA got its throat on your fucking neck when it comes to emission stuff. That's why you lock it, not the aftermarket tuning. Your anecdotal example just fell on deaf ears after you said a EcoBoost truck had a supercharger. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Thursday for YDBT Daily. We'll hang out then a little bit. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys later. Bye.